Hey there. Welcome back to Jaded Joy Stories, where we dive into the world of Reddit stories and updates that follow. I'm your host Brutus, and today we're in for a treat as we have some stories that have taken some really unexpected turns. Today is special because we've got not one, but two incredible stories lined up, plus some exciting updates. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Story 1. By user MacBook Couch. I had some of my friends over at my house, and as it goes, one of my friends invited one of her other friends to come over. She had her MacBook on my couch when I sat on it and broke it. Since it was completely my fault, I offered to pay her the money for it, and she agreed. She got it 3 years ago, and it cost $2,200 at the time. I told her I'd wire you the money in a week to her bank account. She's now emailed me saying that as per our conversation, she's expecting the $2,700 that I have agreed for. I didn't know why she added the extra money, so I got her number from my friend and called her to find her, telling me she's now expecting me to pay for her new upgraded MacBook since she was upgrading anyway. She said if I don't agree to do that, she'll be suing me in small claims court. Can a judge agree to that? Should I wire her the $2,200, or should I just tell her go sue me? Wow. What would you guys do here? Let's get on to the update and find out what OP did. Update. I went through every single comment, and I sincerely thank each and every one of you. I did some research specifically for repairing the screen for the MacBook, and for her particular model it's around $310 for the screen, plus the labor costs, so I wrote her back saying that since she didn't accept my initial offer of $2,200, I'm withdrawing that offer and offering to pay for the repair cost. She sent me an email calling me a bad name and that she's going to take me to court. I got served a few days later and went to court. I told the judge I gave her 3 options to choose from. 1. Either to write her a check for a brand new one, which was $2,200. 2. Get her a refurbished one from Apple or a third party, or even used one, which would be around $1,400. Or 3. Fix her current MacBook since the screen is the only thing affected here, and it would cost around $300 plus money for labor. I printed out the email I sent her and the mail she sent back refusing the $2,700 and calling me a bad name and saying we'll go to court, plus screenshots for the price quotes from different websites for a new or refurbished computer, and the screen fix quotes for her particular model, and gave it to the judge. I also told him that when I offered at the very beginning to get her a new one from the Apple store, she said no, I want the money in cash. When I told her I'd give her $2,200 for a new one, she said okay, but later came asking for $2,700 because she wants to upgrade. I tried to show him how it's clearly visible that she's trying to take advantage of me. She gave the judge an attitude almost the whole time, which really seemed to make the judge mad and helped my case, I guess. After listening to both of us, he ruled that I pay 50% of the repair costs since she negligently left her laptop on the couch. So I'll only be paying not more than $200 to $250 for the whole thing. If it weren't for you guys, I would have paid $2,200 instead of around $200, and I honestly loved her look at the end as we walked out. So thank you guys so much for all your help. It really seems like OP is a really good person here. They took full responsibility for something that wasn't entirely their fault and were willing to make it right within minutes. Then recognized their goodwill was being taken advantage of and stood their ground. What an excellent outcome. Hopefully the friend is no longer around. Let's move on to the next story. From user Who Even Is That 5. I 45M have a daughter, Polly, from a previous relationship. I divorced my ex-wife on good terms, and we share 50% custody of Polly. She is now 11. After I divorced my ex-wife, I met my now fiancée, Sharon. Sharon and my daughter got along very well. After 5 years in my relationship with Sharon, I proposed. Sharon was super excited and wanted to start planning right away. She looked at venues and started asking her friends to be her bridesmaids. She then told me she wanted her niece to be a flower girl, which I had no problem with, but I said I also wanted Polly to be a flower girl. Sharon looked at me funny and then said that she didn't think that Polly would fit the part. I got angry and told Sharon that my daughter would be in our wedding. Sharon started to become upset and said that the girls in the wedding were up to her and Polly wouldn't be one of them. I told Sharon that if Polly wasn't in the wedding then there might not be a wedding. I stormed out and took Polly to get ice cream. Polly knows we are getting married and told me she thinks she will look pretty in whatever dress Sharon decides she should wear. This broke my heart and I decided to text Sharon. I told her I would be staying with a friend to think this over. My email texted me saying I was overreacting and that my daughter doesn't have to be in my wedding and I was wrong for saying that I would cancel. So, did I take it too far saying I will cancel? Am I overreacting or just being a good dad? OP had an edit. Thank you everyone for the comments and suggestions. I will post an update in the near future. Here are some of the relevant comments. Someone asked, "Did you propose alternatives to the flower girl position?" OP responded, "I said I wanted her in the wedding in some shape or form. I wanted her to be a part of our day and not sitting with the guests while we walked down the aisle." Fiancé said, quote, "It would be best if she just sat with my parents." Also, many have suggested a junior bridesmaid but my fiancé still declines. I did tell my fiancé she will be in the wedding and if that means she has to be a groomsman then so be it. Fiancé blew up saying she's not a boy and my side is only for boys. She denied my request to have a father-daughter dance with Polly, so this is why I'm rethinking the whole wedding. Sharon and I are going to talk tonight and hopefully she will give me a full reasoning. Someone else asked, "Has Polly ever said anything about Sharon treating her poorly?" OP replied, "Polly has never voiced any concerns about Sharon treating her badly. I have never seen anything happen between them, so this was very out of the blue." Surprisingly, Sharon has never had an issue with Polly until wedding talk. The two have always been super close, so her reaction shocked me for sure. I would have never popped the question if Polly wasn't comfortable. I totally understand where you are coming from, and I do think it's crazy that I haven't seen any signs. I've talked to Polly and told her to tell me if anything has ever happened, and Polly says she can't recall a single time Sharon was mean to her. There was a small update in the original comments. Talked to her mom this morning because I wanted Polly to stay with her until this was figured out. Her mom said she hopes it goes well and told me I could stay with her and Polly if need be. She said Polly always comes home with nothing negative to say, so we aren't sure where this came from. Now on to the next update. First, I want to thank everyone for all the kind words and suggestions. To answer a few questions, my daughter is not disabled, chubby, or having an awkward phase, braces/glasses. I did ask if Polly could be a groomsman. Sharon immediately shot me down. Sharon is 39, she is the same race as my daughter, this is her first marriage. I tried to answer as many comments as possible. Now on to the update. I came home to talk to Sharon today. When I pulled in our driveway, my mother-in-law was sitting there in her car. I got out and went inside trying to avoid talking to my mother-in-law. Sharon was sitting at the kitchen table and I joined her. She sat in silence, so I asked the first question, "Why does Polly not fit the part and why don't you want her in the wedding at all?" Her answer full-on shocked me. She quietly said, "I was hoping that after the wedding you could become a holiday visit only dad. I didn't want her in the wedding so she wouldn't be in the photos around the house since she wasn't going to be around much." I kept my cool, calmly took her hand and pulled my engagement ring off. Her eyes started to tear up. She said we shouldn't end the marriage over this and that she can change. I told her the damage was already done. I told her I wanted her things moved out by next week and that she could come get them when my daughter wasn't home. The house is in my name and I paid for it and I was allowing her to get her furniture that she paid for. She stormed out and mother-in-law came knocking on the door saying I was being unreasonable. But I couldn't imagine only seeing my daughter 3 or 4 times a year. The fact that Sharon wanted me to give up part of my custody blew me away. I'm sitting on my couch just in shock. Our honeymoon was supposed to be in Hawaii. Looks like me and Polly will be going instead. I will update again if anything happens. Now moving on to the last update. Hello everyone. Thank you for all the kind comments and suggestions for Hawaii. We got here a few days ago and Polly is already having a ton of fun. If you have any cool suggestions, please drop them in the comments. As for my ex-fiancée, she has tried to reach out to me wanting to work everything out, saying she only did it because her mom wanted, quote, pure grandchildren. I still do not care. If she really loved my daughter and I, then she wouldn't have acted on her mother's wishes. Sharon has called my workplace to try and get in touch with me. She has even shown up a few times to try and talk to me, and I've told my supervisor to just ask her to leave. She has gone as far as messaging my ex-wife a few times wanting to know why her calls won't go through to me. When she caught wind that we were in Hawaii, she was so mad. I'm still close with her brother, and he told me that her and her mom were going to try and get plane tickets. If that's the case, I will likely file a restraining order. Polly asked what happened to Sharon, and I told her that we come as a package deal and Sharon only wanted me and I would never leave her. Polly understood, but I think she was a little heartbroken. I know this update is small, but it's where we are right now. Sounds like OP dodged this major bullet and that he and Polly had a blast in Hawaii. Sharon really blew it here. The OP mentions it only in passing, but he sounds like he has at least a decent relationship with his ex-wife and a healthy and loving relationship with his daughter. From what I've heard, that's not as common as one might hope. And that's all we have for now. If there are any more updates, I'll be sure to let you know. If you enjoyed today's story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Jaded Joy Stories so you never miss out on the next adventure. If you've got your own story to share or a suggestion, feel free to drop a comment below. You never know, you might hear your story one day. This is Brutus, and I'll catch you in the next one.